Well, it looks like Donald Trump is going to have a very busy first week as president of the United States. As of course, the future president of the United States is also now expected to speak at Davos at the World Economic Forum just a few days after his inauguration, which I think is going to be one of the most important kind of trend-setting moments for the president of the United States, who has previously described himself as a globalist and a patriot at the same time. Which Donald Trump we will get, I think, will actually highlight the larger kind of future of his presidency and his legacy. As we have to remember, individuals like Yuval Harari, who are literally the right-hand man for Klaus Schwab, the major kind of representative figurehead of the World Economic Forum, as he literally came out before and said if Trump becomes president again in 2024, it will be the final death blow to what remains of the global order. As those globalists love their global new world order, which of course they keep prophesizing, talking about, as a lot of the policies, a lot of the initiatives that they always have prophesized and pushed forward have been indicative of the Biden administration that has been implementing them. As of course, a lot of people call this the Great Reset. Some people have combined this with Bidenomics and building back better, as it's fair to say almost everything on their agenda, everything that they kind of wrote about in their own internal documents has kind of come forward and has been legitimately implemented in many places around the world, as it is also slowly being implemented in places that resist it, as the United States represents one of those places that still is the last bastion of freedom, especially when it comes to the First Amendment and Second Amendment, that a lot of people around the world just simply do not have. I'm looking at you, Australia, which is a failed communistic state, New Zealand, the United Kingdom, Europe, Israel, and a lot of other failed Western nations have, within the last few years, implemented a lot of the World Economic Forum policies that have obliterated personal liberty, personal freedoms, and of course the ability of individuals to have financial prosperity, as of course the super rich that congregate amongst the World Economic Forum are usually the biggest beneficiaries of its policies and initiatives. As the World Economic Forum literally declared that you will own nothing, have no privacy, and you will be happy, in a phrase from their 2018 documents predicting the 2030 future. As of course, their 2030 vision of the future coalesces around the UN 2030 agenda that the Joe Biden administration has been implementing. As of course, now the question kind of looms, it remains, how will Donald Trump respond to all of this? As of course, hypothetically, I want to talk about some larger kind of initiatives that look good and bad for the future president of the United States when it comes to dealing with this kind of globalist new world order that a lot of people see as the larger kind of initiatives and programs against the American people and any kind of sovereign, freedom-oriented people that just want to live their own lives, not under the boot of corporatist controllers telling them how to live their lives. As we have to understand, the globalists came very close towards implementing everything that they wanted in 2020, especially with the international lockdowns that have happened, that also played out of their own kind of textbooks, especially when it came to the larger phases and implementation of it that worked in different kind of stages that different countries implemented at different times, as of course the larger get was to control humanity. As I think that is a general loose understanding of what's really going on here, as RFK Jr. previously described the World Economic Forum as a, quote, billionaires' boys club that's trying to rearrange the world to shift wealth upwards and to clamp down totalitarian controls on everybody else.
WEF, the World Economic Forum.
It is like, we shouldn't be paying any attention. It's a billionaires' boys club as arranging the world to shift wealth upward and to clamp down totalitarian controls on everybody else. And now they got the capacity to do it. They got all these countries running around doing what they tell them to do. It's astonishing to me that, these people go to Davos in their private jets.
Yes.
And they're able to tell these world leaders, how to govern us in ways that eradicate our constitutional and civil rights and constantly shifting wealth. I mean, COVID, we shifted $4 trillion of wealth upward. We closed all the little guys.
Yeah.
And
Home
we made
Depot was
Amazon
open,
rich,
but
and Google, and they're all colluding with
Yeah.
each other to censor the people who were like me who were complaining about it.
Yep, as of course in 2020 we saw exactly what they wanted to do, their larger implementations that just resulted in them getting their way with you and your future kind of financial prosperity as well. As we look at as clear, just taking a step back and looking back at how it unfolded and who benefited and who made all the money and who got the best hand out of that entire situation, you do really see a larger kind of plot here that was unfolded in a very sinister, awful, real, cruel way that really makes you wonder about the larger role that these central controllers are playing in our society. As of course, before getting into the Davos official announcement and Donald Trump's kind of proposed speech here, which is going to be very interesting, we want to tell you about another secret, not really so secret, quasi-organization, and that, of course, is LukeUnfiltered.com. If you haven't signed up for it, what are you waiting for? It's quick, it's easy, it's simple. You click the link right now in the description of this video. You go onto this website and you join for whatever you could afford. There's a $15 membership, a $99 membership, an $8 membership. If you're not doing that well, like everybody else, including me, sign up right here. And it's very quick. It's very easy. It's very simple. You get emailed back a login. Just make sure to check your spam account. As of course, I just recently found out there's some underhanded things happening with Google, making sure that people's logins don't actually get to them and they just go directly into the spam for some reason, even though people are directly signing up for this. So if you had issues signing up, just check your spam. You should have a login. If not, you could contact us, email us, and then you get a plethora of amazing offers of values. I'm planning on doing a lot of really cool exclusive members videos this week, as well as exclusive live streams that will be only available just for members in the making of it, that will be live with direct participation, comments, call-ins, just for members of LukeUnfiltered.com. We're also doing a range day. It's filling up fast. It's almost filled up on February 2nd. Details about that are when you kind of log in. We're going to be doing an awesome event down here in Southern Florida, and I expect to do a lot more meetups, a lot more nature hikes in 2025, which are going to be absolutely awesome and incredible fun to do. So sign up to all of those things and a lot more exclusively on LukeUnfiltered.com. Sign up right now, and I will see you there afterwards. Again, we have thousands of videos available just for members of LukeUnfiltered.com. So get in, as of course, a lot of the videos are centered around making you the strongest, most amazing version of yourself, which the globalists don't want you to be. As of course, they want you to be weak, pathetic little soy boys that cannot resist their totalitarian takeover of all of free humanity. As the head of the World Economic Forum just announced this, which I thought was fascinating and interesting, especially with all the uhs he had during his statement here, announcing that Trump will be joining Davos 2025 right after his inauguration.
We are very pleased that President Trump will join us, as I said, in his first week as president, live in Davos and in dialogue with CEOs also. We have been told that the administration wants a broad footprint towards the end of our meeting. I'm then talking about Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. As we know, the inauguration happens on Monday, the 20th, and the Senate will probably start the process of then also clearing new secretaries, confirming new secretaries Monday afternoon. So towards the end, we do expect even additional high level of representation from the Trump administration. So we're very pleased by that, because we know that there is a lot of interest, of course, among our participants, also the rest of the world, to decipher and understand the policies of the new administration. So it will be a very interesting
young men of the world,
As of course, we have to remember that this is not the first or last time that probably Donald Trump will be addressing Davos, as he has previously done before, along with other anti-globalist figures that have attended the meetings, like Javier Milei, that used his opportunity at Davos to talk about the dangers of globalism and central control. As of course, what will Donald Trump be talking about here? Well, it's going to be, I think, very indicative of the future of his presidency, as Donald Trump, I think more than ever, has a larger bent towards being more of a patriot than a globalist, even though he personally previously described himself as both. As during his previous addresses to the United Nations, another kind of globalistic larger organization, he has announced that the future belongs to patriots and not globalists.
It's plain to see. If you want freedom, take pride in your country. If you want democracy, hold on to your sovereignty. And if you want peace, love your nation. Wise leaders always put the good of their own people and their own country first. The future does not belong to globalists. The future belongs to patriots. The future belongs to sovereign and independent nations who protect their citizens, respect their neighbors, and honor the differences that make each country special and unique.
Now, will Trump offer kind of an olive branch to the globalists, or will he rebuke their larger international policies that have wreaked havoc on international sovereignty? That's going to be a question that I think we are going to be finding out very soon. But with the way that things have been going, with the attempted assassination on Donald Trump's life, with so many of these internationalist globalizations screaming about him, being terrified of him, it does signal like he's coming there to send a larger message that, of course, in my opinion, is going to be a more positive uproot message that propels the ideas of freedom rather than these ideas of central control. As of course, those are the two battling ideas that are unfolding right now. Will we have an administration that focuses on controlling, subjugating, and giving carte blanche to a lot of the billionaires out there that use these types of institutions for their own personal gain and benefit? Or will we have an America First type of presidency that will actually spur on a new kind of a renaissance of American freedom and liberty? As Steve Bannon, a former confidant and current confidant, according to some sources, to Donald Trump, is already issuing statements telling Donald Trump to not trust the billionaires that are trying to ally around him, as there are now multiple reports of Jeff Bezos, Mark Zuckerberg, and other high-profile billionaires out there that specifically are getting very close to the future president of the United States. As Steve Bannon might be probably talking about Elon Musk also, but this is what he had to say.
Quite extensive. President Trump's just not going to have a clear path because they're going to try to chop block him. The corporations are all down there right now with their little $1 million checks, and they want to come to the, they want to come to the inauguration, and they want to wear a black tie and pal around and go to all the receptions. That's all fine. That's part of an American tradition. But those corporations, and particularly the tech corporations, there's some comments I have in the New York Post today with the great Miranda Devine talking about Zuckerberg. Zuckerberg can't be trusted at all. He came in the Oval Office. They lined him in the Oval Office when I was there, and I went absolutely bonkers, but he still got to the Oval Office. And later, he put up $450 million of it.
Now, what will the future Trump administration look like? What will be his speech to the world and the globalists? Well, we're going to be paying close attention to it here on this particular YouTube channel as it unfolds, as we probably will be going live and describing every single sentence in great detail to the larger extent of its symbolic nature of this larger ritual that all of us are going to be paying close attention to. So subscribe, click the notification button, as of course we're going to have a lot more coming here your way on youtube.com/wearechange. Sign up now, lukeunfiltered.com. See you there.